Hi, my name's Chris. I left my job as a hedge fund portfolio manager about a year ago to solve two fundamental problems with the traditional wealth management industry. One, most financial advisors work for organizations that manufacture financial products, and they're incentivized to sell those products rather than actually give good independent financial advice. And two, financial advice is prohibitively expensive for most people to access. In many developed countries now, to see an advisor throughout the year, the cost exceeds $10,000, which just puts it out of reach of most people. And those fees are a big drag on returns. So in my country, Australia, we spent $158 billion on investment fees over the last 10 years, $26 billion alone last year. And of that money, 70% ended up in the hands of fund managers and financial advisors whose strategies underperform the market, rendering this whole process pretty useless from a consumer standpoint. That's perhaps why investors such as Warren Buffett have been quite vocal about the importance of low fees in investing and have actually been recommending low-fee investment funds as opposed to funds like his own, which are high-fee active fund managers. And it's quite telling that investors like Buffett are recommending this now. One of the groups in Australia that has realised this problem are people that decide to manage their own superannuation or their own pensions. This group has grown to over a third of the total wealth management in Australia, and they manage over $500 billion. $500 billion of people who just manage their own money because they think the financial services industry is so hopeless they can do a better job themselves. And they're halfway there. So from a fee perspective, self-managed pensions in Australia actually do perform better than traditional advisors or fund managers. But where they miss out is actually on the portfolio diversification side. So most people don't actually have the understanding and expertise to create a properly diversified portfolio. And as a result, typical do-it-yourself portfolios contain double the risk of well-diversified portfolios. And this is a big structural risk to economies. And that's where we come in. We've just launched Asia's first completely online financial advisor and fund manager, Stockspot. Instead of charging thousands of dollars per year for financial advice, we charge as little as $90. How do we do it? Well, we provide our whole service online and in an automated fashion. So we profile our clients, and then using that information, we recommend a low-fee, diversified mix of index funds based on their liquidity needs, their risk tolerance, their investment profile, and their tax situation. And this whole process is, as I mentioned, automated online. Right from onboarding and AML through to investing, through to rebalancing and reporting, and even accounting at the end of each financial year, where our portfolios directly integrate into Xero, which is Asia's fastest growing cloud-based accounting software. So this is how consumers are better off. So we estimate consumers will save about 2% per year in the all-in cost of investing versus seeing a traditional financial advisor. And this will have a profound impact on their total wealth, especially over long periods of time. Even more importantly, perhaps for the self-directed investors, a better diversification in their portfolio can reduce the risk, and we estimate the typical risk reduction is about a third versus a typical do-it-yourself portfolio in our country. That's perhaps why Oxford University this year put financial advisors in the list of top 10 professions most likely to disappear thanks to robots over the next 5 years, and this doesn't surprise us at all. Now, robo-advisors or online financial advisors are a relatively new profession, but they're starting to take hold in the US. So these are the two of the players that have become a bit more well-known over the last couple of years, and it's expected at the end of this year there'll be $14 billion of wealth under management by robo-advisors in the world, of which 83% will actually be residing within the US. Over the next 5 years, that amount is expected to grow to $255 billion. And the interesting thing for us is the majority of that is expected to actually be outside of the US. And that's where we're focused. So we've launched in Australia because it's our home market and we understand the regulatory environment very well. It's actually the most strict regulatory environment in Asia and perhaps the world. And as well as that, it's one of the biggest investment markets in the world. So many of you might not know, but Australia is actually the fourth biggest investment market in the world. We're focused on Australia first, but we believe if we can crack the model in Australia where there's very strict regulatory controls, our model is easily transferable into other markets in Asia. Particularly, we think Singapore, Hong Kong and New Zealand are the most similar to ours. And the investment market in Asia is huge, so there's 5 of the 12 largest investment pools in the world. So after, as I mentioned, overcoming significant regulatory hurdles to actually get our product up and running, so we're a regulated financial advisor in Australia. We've had 850 clients sign up over the last 4 months since we launched out of beta. And we've found most of our client acquisition has come through either through direct marketing online, and particularly content generation and creating useful content for consumers, but then also a few slightly different type of partnerships. For instance, we just signed with Australia's largest football club, and they're going to be promoting our product not only to their players from a welfare perspective, but also their fans. And we think distribution is going to be key to us, and we're going to be going through non-traditional distribution outside of the banks, because the banks, to be honest, don't really like what we're doing. So our team has a wealth of experience across financial services, wealth management, technology, and business development. And with a Series A funding round, which we're about to launch, we're looking to add more people within the digital marketing and UX side. So we're Stockspot. We'd love to talk to you if you're interested in participating in our next round of growth, and as an investor or as potentially a partner in Asia.